My name is Dr. Phil McCracken. I received my doctoral just this year from the Adolf von Wurstenhitler Academy of Criminology and Flower Arranging in Liechtenstein in Europe. I wrote my doctoral thesis on the subject of who is the greatest superhero, Batman or Superman. And this is a fairly open-ended question, so a lot of issues come up. One of the key issues is what you mean by greatest, and the other is what you mean by superhero. Some people raise the issue of greatness by the amount of media that is produced about somebody. For example, Jesus is hailed as one of the greatest religious figures of all time because of the amount of media. My book has an argument in it as one of the chapters that both Superman and Batman are equal to Jesus, not in the way that the Beatles were, but in a different way. I mean, imagine this. Jesus has 2,000 years more press coverage than both Batman and Superman. So if the press would stop covering Jesus for 2,000 more years, but continue to cover Superman and Batman, then after that time, I think that you would see equal amount of press coverage for Batman and Superman as you have for Jesus. And therefore, I believe they are equally as great as Jesus. But this is just one of the points that my book makes. I have about half the book is devoted entirely to the issue of what would happen if Superman and Batman locked into mortal combat. Who would emerge the victor? This is a very important question, and even though it has actually happened that Batman and Superman have fought many times, they've never fought to the death. It's never been a grudge match where no one could leave the wired cage until one was dead. And interestingly, both Superman and Batman have died at various times and been resurrected, thus bringing back more to the Jesus. But I think that the final ultimate victory to determine who is the greatest superhero is who could kill the other superhero and keep him dead. Not just kill him, but kill him so that he stayed dead. And that's the real key issue. My personal opinion tends towards Batman. And I know this is a controversial subject, and I'm not supposed to have opinion. I'm supposed to be an unbiased observer and just, calculate the facts and so forth. But really, when you look at the issue from a criminological point of view, Batman is the original detective. And Superman is not even human. He's an illegal immigrant. Batman is fighting for America, and he would clearly use his detective powers to investigate Superman's weaknesses before they locked into combat, and he would find out that Superman has indeed a couple of very large, glaring weaknesses. The first being that kryptonite renders him, powerless, nauseous, and weak, and, like a skinny guy on the beach ready to have sand kicked in his face.
Yup, ready. What are your questions?
Okay, so, you know Superman. How do you know Superman?
I met Superman by the wharf one day. I met him out there with Todd that works at KFC. He had first introduced me to him, told me that he was cool, hung out for a bit. After that, when we realized we're on the same level, I began selling to him regularly, starting out around the ounce, moving to quarter P, and then eventually we're talking kilos of that stuff.
And what stuff are we talking about exactly?
We're talking about golden kryptonite, one of the most addicting substances known to man and from another world.
And so you would sell golden kryptonite to Superman.
Fuck yeah, I would.
And what's that do to a person?
What it does to a common man is absolutely nothing. But what it does to a man of steel, it makes him crazy. It makes him mad. You can't trust him on it.
All right, so you eventually severed your relationship with Superman. Can you explain why?
Severed the relationship because he owes me $127. All he needs to do is just pick up the phone, just come over and call. Man's cut off. He's cut off from me and from my operation. He's done.
So it sounds like you had a falling out.
You'd say it's falling out. Like I said, he owes me money.
So what kind of things would Superman do while he was under the influence of the golden kryptonite?
Fuck fat bitches. Generally, you do that, walk to a bar, use his laser, use his heat vision, start burning everything up. Occasionally you destroy major events, monuments, airplanes, basically incite riots wherever he goes.
So gold kryptonite makes Superman a terrorist.
Makes him crazy. I mean crazy. He still does some stuff on that stuff that I can't even talk about right now. This is hiding my identity, right? Just he's killed people. He's killed a lot of people. Well, you know, when it comes down to it, Superman's a fucking junkie.
And he also needs the sun to get his energy. So if they did combat, say, in a Batcave, and it took place over several days, perhaps, maybe with a few resting periods, maybe not, then Batman would clearly have the advantage. Batman was trained with Eastern philosophy for, deprivation and self-immolation and so forth. So he knows how to endure. Whereas Superman, I mean, he was raised on a farm, and that's got to be a little bit tough. But, I just don't think Superman could cut it for the long term. So I think that Batman would indeed triumph and would kick Superman's ass back to Krypton, where it belongs. But, I don't want to voice my opinion too strongly. There is also a case for Superman, and I make that case as well. Superman is more than human. He's an alien, in fact. And really, we've seen some of his powers, but we don't know the limit of his powers. He can obviously fly, he's got super strength, and he can jump great distances, and he's got X-ray vision and so forth. And that's what gets me. He's got X-ray vision. Now, any man that I know who had X-ray vision would not spend his time going around solving crime with it. He would investigate women's undergarments. That's the clear use of X-ray vision. He's clearly not a man. Who knows what he is, really. But I don't really want to bring his sexuality into question. What I'm trying to say is that Superman has an unlimited potential, whereas Batman's potential is somewhat limited. We know he is human. He's restricted by that. He has to eat. He has to sleep. He gets tired. He makes bad decisions. He has an ego. He's shown himself to be paranoid on occasions. He's inhaled various drugs. Under stress, who knows what that's going to do to his psyche. The various times his enemies have drugged him, and that's got to be a problem. He also has a weakness for the ladies, Catwoman and such. He was even married to Catwoman at one point, and that didn't work out. And that shows you what kind of commitment the guy has. And the whole thing with Robin, again, I don't want to get too much into sexuality, but if they're not working out and keeping fit and they're doing other things, then they're going to lose their energy. And suppose Superman surprised Batman. Suppose he just kind of jumped up and said, "Let's go," and Batman didn't have time to prepare. Then it could go very different ways. I think then Superman might have the advantage, and we could see a very different outcome.
Woke up this morning.